Hi everyone, it's Tom Mackie here. Welcome to Italy in the springtime. Now, we had originally planned a different location to do our videos down in Tuscany, but with the overcrowding of tourists down there, we decided to change the venue and come up to the Dolomites in the northern part of Italy. And I'm so glad we did. It's so peaceful and quiet here. And last night when we arrived, we got some incredible images. So unlike studio photography, where you have complete control over everything, landscape photography, you are at the mercy of Mother Nature. So you don't know what she's going to throw at you. So this is why I always think that it's really important to have a plan B. So when you're planning your shoots, if things don't go the way you expect them to, always have an ulterior setup, backup plan. So our first example of thinking on our feet was to change locations up here in the Dolomites. Now, I had planned all sorts of late afternoon shoots up here in the mountains, but unfortunately we got delayed at the airport. So we arrived here just at the golden hour, which we had to scramble around and capture some amazing shots though. And I'd like to tell you that we hiked up to this location and, through knee-deep snow, but in actual reality, we actually shot it from our balcony of the hotel. Now, I always believe in location, location, location. That is the most important thing in landscape photography. Be on location, make it as comfortable as possible. I've spent years living out of my VW motor caravan, traipsing around the countrysides. And yes, it was great then, but I'm a lot older now, and I love the comforts of home or hotels. Now, I had in mind a shot of a high alpine lake up behind me, but when I arrived up into the mountains here, I thought, gosh, I didn't expect to see all this snow. This is May. So I had to switch to our second plan B. And I thought, right, I know another location, we'll shoot this one instead. Because I knew there was no way we were going to get up to this lake. And if we did, it's going to be frozen over. So forget that idea. Let's go with the light that we have and a location that I know well. Now, I've been to this location many times before and I know it very well, but if I hadn't, I would really need to research beforehand another location to shoot in case the original shot that I had in mind wouldn't come off. So it's always good to be prepared and do your research before you get there. So with the benefit of research, it takes the pressure off you. And last night when we arrived, we had what every landscape photographer desires. We had gorgeous light, brilliant location, a cold beer, and dinner waiting for us. What more could you want? Okay, so moving on to our third plan B. I had an astro shot in mind up at the lake that I mentioned, but that wasn't going to happen. So I switched to this location, and as I mentioned, I shot it from the balcony of our hotel. Now, it might sound like the lazy photographer's way of making images, but it actually was the best position for this because I lined up the apex of this chapel behind me with the mountain behind it. So it was the perfect location. So I thought, it's a great location to do astrophotography. So we waited until it got really dark, the clouds cleared beautifully, and then we did a little bit of panning with light. Unfortunately, we have some street lights here that cast a lot of orange color to the snow and to the chapel. So by using my torch just for a few seconds on it, it actually wipes out that orange cast and just makes it stand out against the mountain even more. So using these techniques, I was able to manage the light, and you'll see the end result at the end of this video. And in actual fact, thinking back on it, my plan B shot actually looks better than my plan A shot. So I'm so glad things went the way they did. So over the years, I've always heard that I get great conditions. It doesn't always work out that way. It's because I have a plan B in mind. So I have to think on my feet. And there was one other instance I can just think of recently that happened in the Eastern Sierras in California. We'll put this shot at the very end. We had gone out to photograph High Alpine Lake again at first light. But on driving up to the pass, the lighting conditions just weren't going to work. I knew this was not going to light up the mountain as I intended, and this clouds to the east were just amazing. We had some incredible color that was going to happen. I could just feel that this was going to be a monumental sunrise. So I had to switch to plan B and went to a different location quickly before everything happened, and we got some amazing shots, which you'll see at the end of this video. So I know it's a bit of a short anecdotal video, but I think the message is really useful. It's always do your research, have a plan B, and you'll be more successful with your end results. There's so many photographers that go out there with just one shot in mind, and if they don't get it, they give up. So always work with the conditions you have and have that plan B. Thanks for joining me on this lovely spring day in the Dolomites. Now, if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, make sure you hit that button down below. There's a link. And also hit the subscribe button and those like buttons. Now I'm off to do another shot, and if that doesn't pan out, I've got a plan B. You can be assured of that. So see you again in the next video. Bye for now.